Mason Moore's up next. Mason, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Number 2, right?
Yes.
God, good job this year. What about that win you guys got against Page? Let's go back a little bit more before we talk about the other games. Win against Page, the first win we saw was at your place. Talk about that win, the big night that Friday night.
Oh, we just played terrific that game. That's probably one of our best games ever. Played defense the whole time. Offense was cooking. Yeah, we did everything that day.
How about going back to the Hayco tournament? You beat them for the first time this year. Number 1 of number 3. What about that win?
That really set a lot of relief off of us and like Durham for the next 2 games because we like finally beat them and then finally like yes we.
Once you
realized
realize you could beat them, and after that it's like we got this. We can do something with this now.
Finally did it. Yeah. That was a big win. That was probably the biggest win of the season.
Kind of a lot of celebration too at your place. You beat them on that Friday night. The student section was so involved. They were able to get out there and be a part of that game. I'm sure that was a big plus to have them backing you up.
Yeah, I love our student section. I think we got the best student section in Greensboro, to be honest with you.
I'm not taking anything away from Page the other night at Page, but I think maybe it was because of the Tuesday night could have affected some. But I think your Friday night student section beat their Tuesday night student section, what they brought out the other evening when you guys took them on over there. Just my own personal opinion, and we hope to see more of your student section tomorrow night when Dudley comes in. Because it makes for a better game. You think they'll be out in full force tomorrow night?
They should. This is the big
like a game day, like on Friday tomorrow, because you guys got the big game tomorrow at home. Do you get to mingle with the students? Are people talking about the game?
Yeah.
Because some schools it's kind of fun. We got the big game now. Are people talking about before the game?
Yeah, all the time. They talk about what they're gonna do during the game.
That's good.
Yeah, everything. They let us know before they do it.
Deep down, the students are looking for something to get involved in and get involved with.
Yeah.
And this is giving them some kind of something to be attached to with the team.
Yeah.
Talk about the senior leadership of this team. How important is that senior leadership?
Our senior leadership is big. Me, especially, my last year, I want to win. I know everybody on that team want to win. Coach Griffiths, I got to get him a winning record before he leave out of here. I'm just glad of the stuff we got accomplished now as a senior.
You know, you play it hard. In some ways, you kind of quietly go about your business, get the job done without too much. I think Peter might help us. I give Peter credit because he brought up a key point. Not a lot of drama. You guys get the job done. Not a lot of people coming out and saying, we got to, you know, sometimes if you show too much emotion, it kind of, I know Cam Newton could do this to get away with it. For us younger people like yourself and me, don't show too much emotion, get the job done, less drama, and more business.
I call us quiet assassins is what I call
us. That's good stuff. That's good. That's what I used to call Walker Holt back in the old days. Remember Walker Holt? Played for Grimsley. You ever heard his name?
Yeah.
Played at Clemson?
Yeah, he got his name in the locker room.
Is it on the wall in there? Good stuff. And I'm glad you noticed that, too, because I think it's always important to notice those guys that came through there before you guys did. How about Cameron Bennerman? Is he up there? Cameron's in there. Cameron's a good one, too. I tell you, a lot of good ones. Ethan Albright, he's probably there somewhere, too. The big redheaded guy back in the day. He probably showed up somewhere in there.
I don't remember his name.
How about Gennaro Lawhorn? Gennaro's not there, is he?
No.
I remember Gennaro pretty well, too. A lot of guys from Grims over the years. Mason Moore with us now. How big would it be to beat Dudley tomorrow night? You got a big job tomorrow. You're going to go to work overtime. Have to work overtime because the backcourt pressure from Dudley's coming at you guys so hard. How big would that be to beat them, and how much work you got to get ready for tomorrow night?
We beat them, first place in the conference. That's it. That's all the thing that really matters to us. We want to be first place.
Doesn't matter what the overall record is right now. No. It's just that had the best conference record to win the conference.
Yes.
If you beat them tomorrow night, you're well on your way toward getting that conference championship.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what we want. Exactly what we want. Be number one.
How far has this team come since Coach Griffiths came in and took over? How far has the team come since back in the day?
Super far.
Because it seemed like a couple of years, I mentioned this Coach Griffiths, it's not disrespectful, just kind of from an observation standpoint. It seemed like you used to come in, we got a basketball game, we get the game done, we're going on home, it's over, we move on about our business. Now it seems like this means something because you guys are winning.
Yes, it's like, since Coach Griffiths has been here, it hasn't been a winning record. But now, we just starting to click together. He's a good coach, a great coach, probably one of the best I ever had. And just
you guys can identify Coach Griffiths because he's not a real big man. He's a smaller man, but he does a lot of hard work and big work.
Yeah.
And knows the game well, too. Having that college experience, you got to trust a guy like that.
He gets on us. He gets on us big time in practice.
Works hard.
Goes hard, yeah.
How about the assistant coach? I know Coach Coakley's been with you guys a long time.
Yeah.
Who are the other assistants? Do you have
Coach Dravo? That's one of my favorite coaches, too, and all the time. He's a cool guy. You know the game well, too. Used to work with UNCG.
What's his name again?
Coach Drabo.
Coach Drabo. We're going to keep an eye on him. What about these guys that keep an eye on when you guys are playing? You guys, the starters are out there. You guys, we talked about that bench support from Urquhart, Brannick, Dillard, White, and Rizzi. What about what the bench means to this team? Because you go out, sometimes the guy goes, I don't want to go out. I'm afraid things might change. I'm on the bench. I got to get right back in. But you guys feel pretty confident about your backups.
Yeah, because in practice, we push them as hard as they push us and make them better. So they go in the game, they know what to do, they be calm, collect, and do what we need them to do.
Talk
Really.
about your job kind of working, thinking back that page game, about the job you do such a good job of, and your teammates do it too, about being able to get to the basket, be able to slice through that defense and get to the bucket in games. How big is that?
That's where I developed that big time. Last year, I couldn't handle the ball real good, but I worked hard over the summer to get to the basket, be able to dribble, and just get better at it, just doing what I needed to do.
What did you do? Where'd you work out in the off season? Where'd you work out at? What kind of work did you do in the off season?
Sometimes we had workouts at Grimsley sometime, AAU. I worked out with my coach
Who
there.
was the AAU team you played for?
TTC Elite.
TCT Elite.
TTC Elite.
TTC
With
Elite.
Coach West. You remember Coach West last year that coached us last year?
Who's it again?
Coach West.
Coach West. Okay.
They coached us last year.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
gotcha.
I played with him.
Anybody else we know that was on that team? Some other names?
John Perrier.
John
Aaron Wiggins played with us, yeah.
What's Freer doing these days?
He go to Lynchburg.
Yeah, he's playing there, right?
Yeah, he's playing
I thought he was. I got to look him up and see how he's doing up there because he was this year's team a little bit different. Last year's team too, because last year Prairie was going to get a lot of shots, and sometimes you guys, the offense might got stale. So let's just get into John, see what John can do. This year, balance.
Yeah, everybody can score on this team. Everybody can score. Everybody plays defense, so everything just balances.
What would it mean? I mean, the wins against Page were great, but what would it mean to beat Dudley tomorrow night?
Like I said, Dudley big game. That's for #1 in the conference. We beat them. We're just gonna be happy where we at. Just being in first place.
I guess you draw up the paperwork too. You were able to not beat them, didn't beat them down at Dudley, lost there, and they got them at your place, got another chance. I guess it's important too, knowing you lost to them already. You got to beat them this time.
Yeah, revenge. But we're not looking into that. We just do what we do, and we gonna win this game.
A couple more notes from Mason Moore, Shannon Dribchak for a Thursday night to the Carolina Panthers, this big Super Bowl game. How do you see that game ending, and what kind of score you predict? And if Cam Newton's not the MVP, who wins the MVP on Sunday night?
God, that's a big.
Who wins that one?
I'm gonna say Davis.
Thomas Davis.
Yes, his arm, he broke his arm, and he still want to play. That's tough right
Give
there.
it to him.
Yeah, that's tough right there.
How about Panthers win this thing by a touchdown or two, or how many?
They'll win by like 30.
By 30 points.
30 points.
No, I don't just start saying something. We used to have the Grimsley guys come in for the Grimsley Page football game, and some of the numbers they gave me back in the day, I said, boys, we're not doing this again in the future, predicting these scores. But hey, you're confident 30 points going in, going to get that win. How about President of the United States? Ask that political question. Who's going to be the next president for us? Any idea? We got Donald Trump working hard. We got Marco Rubio. We got Ted Cruz. We got Hillary Clinton. We got Bernie Sanders.
I say Hillary Clinton.
It's going to be a Democrat that
I
wins.
say Hillary.
Do you
Yeah, I
know
say
who she'll
Hillary.
go up against? Will she go up against Rubio, maybe Donald Trump, or maybe Ted Cruz?
I think Ted. Yeah,
Ted's in
Ted.
first place right now as of today. When did you get your first dunk, and where did this take place?
7th grade, Kaiser Middle School.
Kaiser Middle. You played for Kaiser back in the day.
Yes, sir.
Any other guys you with now played together down at Kaiser?
Aaron. Who else? I don't think there's nobody else on the team now.
Just you and Aaron primarily.
Yeah.
So a lot of the guys have gone different directions these days.
Yeah.
How about this guy here? You remember Andy Pack from Northern?
Yeah.
Was he a Kaiser guy?
Yeah,
back
he
in
was
the-
Kaiser,
I
yeah.
thought he was.
But he was younger. So
Yeah, I
2
thought he
grades
was younger. Yeah, a couple years before you guys. Just interesting points there. First dunk was at Kaiser Middle School. Mason Moore with us. Mason, tomorrow night, what's your role going to be in that game against Dudley? What's your role going to be, and how important is it to carry out that role?
Play defense and put the ball in the basket.
Confident going in.
Yeah.
Listen, keep up the good work. Hope to see you again tomorrow night at Grimsley.